What's good? It's your boy Ben, and I'm back with another video, man. And the name of this video is gonna be called "Make Your Next Move Your Best Move." And I just noticed as of late, with everything that's going on in the world today, people are really concerned about jobs, man. And you know, and it's a lot of uncertainty with people's jobs. I know during the Trump administration, a lot of people had got like their jobs cut. I had a friend of mine. He actually had a government. He was working a government contract, and he had got uh furloughed, and you know, and it's just like a lot of uncertainty, in that whole space, man, due to the fact that the Trump administration is trying to like shave some fat, financially from various different uh, departments and just finances of like the government, right? And so, I've been seeing a lot of people talking about, you know, forget these jobs and whatever. I mean, and to a point, man, some jobs, yeah, you just be like, man, forget this stuff, bro. I'm tired of giving my all, and I'm tired of like putting forth the effort, and they're not paying me what I deserve, right? Or what you're worth, right? And you get disenfranchised. And I've been at my job for about 20 years, and I've been through the good and the bad. I started working during the first, like, the recession, when George W. was in office. Stuff didn't kind of get better when until like Obama had got in office, sort of kind of like that early. You know what I'm saying? Jobs and just opportunities more or less started opening up. And at that point, I was trying to transition to like another job, but I was kind of stuck, right? But I'm here to tell you, make your next move your best move. Don't hastily quit your job without a plan or some type of strategy, because you got to think about it. If you got any type of financial anything like in a way like car note, I'm talking about like bills that definitely got to get paid or it's going to get taken away from you, man, you better do it strategically, because if you ain't got the income coming in, it's going to be bad. You know what I'm saying? You got to make sure that all your stuff is paid up. You gotta make sure you got some money in the bank. You better make sure you got a nest egg where if stuff is bad, it's getting like to the point like, dang, I'm exhausting all my resources. I can fall back on this. And when I tell you, don't let these people on the internet fool you into like quitting your job. And I know with as of late, like, YouTube, you can make a whole bunch of money, but you gotta go on the grind. You gotta put in the work, gotta put in that leg work to get there with anything. That's with YouTube or starting a business or anything in life. And it's sad, cause some of these people might get you in a situation like, dang, like financially, that you may or may not recover from. Or you may be going through a hardship for an extended period of time. So to kind of put it in perspective, I remember almost about 10 years, like maybe like from now, I'll probably say almost 20 years ago, man, you know, various different things wasn't set in place. Like the gig economy wasn't set in place. You know, you either was looking for a place of employment, or probably working a temp job, and then you also had now the gig economy. So at least with the gig economy, you can have something that keep you afloat, right? You know, years ago, it wasn't none of that. You either was working at a regular 9 to 5, working at McDonald's, or probably working through a temp agency, or working under the table, you know, hustling, or whatever it is to like keep that money coming in. But you know what I'm saying? If you thinking about, you know, transitioning from your current job, just make sure your next move is your best move, right? And right now, it's been a resurgence of people, or like prosperity preachers, saying that, okay, like, I'm with this company, you know, jobs are being very scarce, and you know, it's not a lot of opportunity, but I have an opportunity for you, and making it seem like they have a job, but in all actuality, it's a fake business opportunity, and you already don't have the money already, and they're asking you to buy into something, or to sell something, or get 3 or 4 friends to make a whole bunch of money. These multi-level marketing people, man, this is like the prime time. They're gonna be coming out the woodworks, and I say, do not entertain it. Don't, because it's not gonna be worth your time. It's not gonna be worth your sanity, and it's going to just set you back financially, because you could have been doing something totally different than you just kind of invested all your time and energy in something that you probably wasn't, like, you know, it's 50-50, but honestly, multi-level marketing, it just don't do it. So those type of people are coming out the woodworks, because they're preying on people's like vulnerability, because they don't have a job. And you know, people, when they don't have income in, they're vulnerable, man, because they're like, man, I gotta get some income coming in. You know what I'm saying? So you just gotta be mindful of stuff like that. And once again, you know, you got various different content creators. And if you live in that life, if you a gig worker, and you actually, you know, doing pretty well, and you know, you making all this money on like YouTube and this, that, and the third, I mean, it took time for them to get there. And it's something that's not going to happen overnight. It's just not. You got to put in the leg work. You know, you got to upload these videos. You got to learn how to edit these videos, and you got to have some type of presence, and you got to add some value to you, to the viewer, to the person that's tuning in and just clicked this video. You got to add some type of value, and they got to take away something and kind of apply it to their life. But I'm telling you, do not quit your job. If you got a lot of financial things, and I ain't saying, you know, no, don't, you know, don't be, I ain't saying, you know, not pursue no dreams or anything, but let's put it like this. This is your regular income, right? And this is like your side hustle, right? Now, when your side hustle start exceeding your regular income, that's when I would definitely start considering potentially, you know, making my side hustle my full-time job. Let's put it in perspective again. If this is your regular job, and this is your side hustle, and your side hustle is exceeding what you making at your 9 to 5, that's when it only makes sense to call, all right, I definitely want to make that move to my regular, from my regular 9 to 5 to my side hustle, or my new business, or whatever venture is making me enough money where it's sustainable. So if it's not happening like that, just strategically do it. Get streams of income, because you never know if your side hustle may may only be a seasonal thing, or it's consistent. Like, say for instance, if you like a tech person, right? And you undeniably, man, you get a ton of clients and the various different things like that. You know what I'm saying? Then it just kind of, then without a doubt, it makes sense. You can work your clients is your source of income. But like I said, it takes time. So while you at your 9 to 5, that's when you start planting those seeds and gradually start getting clients and gradually start doing various different things, to build your own escape plan. And then once you see that the money that you're making from your, which once was like your side hustle and exceeding what you regularly bringing in, that's when you start making your moves to start operating your own business and making an LLC. You can still make an LLC while you're working your 9 to 5. And you know what I'm saying, but it just got to make sense. And even when I was doing taxes, like my actual tax lady told me, like, you should make an LLC. And you know what I'm saying, you could probably get some write-offs, and you know what I'm saying, but that's a whole totally different conversation. But you got to kind of look into that. But all I'm saying is don't quit your job when you got a lot of financial liability or various different things like that. And I ain't saying be some old scaredy cat, you know what I'm saying, and not, pursue your dreams, but you better do it strategically, or you might put yourself in a rut or a financial instability where you probably can't recover from it. And I've been there at a younger age, but luckily enough, I still kind of stayed with my parents, but I remember the hurt of me not being able to do various different things. And imagine if you got kids, a wife at home, and they looking at you. What if your wife is a stay-at-home mom and they really depending on you to bring home that bread? And it's like, man, like, you not bringing home nothing, all because you wanted to pursue this business, or like go full on with some type of what type of venture that potentially failed. And you gotta look at it, man. You gotta do it strategically. And what I mean by, just make sure that you got enough money, if you to step out on faith. And you know what I'm saying, most people like, and then you got some people that be like, man, shoot, you quit your job. You know what I'm saying? How you gonna become great? You know what I'm saying? You gotta, be deconstrained from your job and get out here and do this. Don't do it. Don't do it. Cause I remember, excuse me. I remember when I was doing that phone and tablet job, and one of my guys, man, he told me I had to quit my job and do this phone and tablet. And keep in mind, these guys were making a lot of money, but a portion of that for that particular industry was really dependent on government resources. And then lo and behold, ACP stopped. And then lo and behold, that whole industry, which was giving out free devices and whatever, that depended on government funding, and it stopped. And lo and behold, those same guys, they started scrambling, man. They started scrambling for other opportunities, and they heard of various different opportunities, and it was trying to pivot. Some offices went belly up, some pivoted and actually started doing other different things, but the money that they were making wasn't the type of money that they were making. The money that they was making before is not the money that they're making now. And like I said, once again, man, if I really would have quit my regular 9 to 5 and jumped out there on faith and with the possibility of me supposedly trying to make all this money, man, I'd be in bad shape right now. I would have been in bad shape. I definitely would have been making like half the money that I made, you know, when I got locked in at my regular 9 to 5. I just would have been in bad shape. And I'm kind of glad that I listened to my first mind. Anybody ever say like listen to your first mind? I'm glad that I listened to my first mind and just did it strategically. And I did make some money passively, but you know what I'm saying. But at the end of the day, it wasn't sustainable. You know, various different government things got cut off, and then I would have been in bad shape. And you don't want to put yourself in that situation, or if you got people that's depending on you, like financial, if you the breadwinner, you don't want to put your family in that type of situation. You don't want to put your loved one, your significant other, your partner in that situation where, you know what I'm saying, they really depending on you, and you can't bring no money in. That's a horrible feeling. That is a horrible feeling, and it's not like the way like what's the name of it? It's not like unemployment ain't what it used to be like years ago, man. They used to damn near give you like almost all your check. They give you like next to nothing to kind of push you to like really getting a job. But luckily enough, nowadays you do have like the gig economy, and it can definitely keep you afloat. But you know, but as for like, you know, being a content creator on YouTube and amassing all this money, you know, that take time. Like making your own business and getting clients, like anything, it takes time. And while you working your 9 to 5, start planting them seeds and transition to where you want to be. You know what I'm saying? Or if you feel like you can just like, you know what, I ain't got no financial liabilities or whatever, I'm just gonna jump out here on faith. Hey, by all means, more power to you. You know what I'm saying? But just don't listen to these prosperity preachers and these people with these vague business opportunities and all this crazy stuff, man. Don't listen to it, man. You find yourself in like in a really, really, really bad spot, man. You know, if you can't really recoup from, you know, just getting out there and jumping out there on faith, you know. So if you thought about doing your own business or doing your own job, man, leave a comment below. You know, if somebody has been considering, somebody in your life, or you've been kind of considering like, man, I'm tired of my job. These people just think they ain't paying me what I'm worth, or you know what I'm saying, I feel devalued. But just look at the good things, man. Are your bills being paid on time? Do you have a decent amount where, you know what I'm saying, you may not have that much left over, but you can still go out and do various different things. You can still pay your phone bill. You and your significant other or your partner can go out and have a little, somewhat of a good time. Or, you know what I'm saying, or, you know, I may have a little bit left over, man. At this point, if it's not that bad, it's not that bad. But if you want more, you got to do more. You got to work to get more. You got to start planting those seeds with you potentially, you know, transitioning from your current job. You know, or you got to make your hustle. You gotta turn your hustle into something where you can make a living off of. You know what I'm saying? I ain't saying just go out here and doing some illegal stuff, but I'm just saying you gotta turn your hustle into like something where, you know, it's sustainable. I don't care if you making dinners, doing hair, if you are a artist, or if you fix computers. It's crazy, especially with tech. They even got like a Uber Eats for tech. It's called Work Market, and they post jobs on there. I know a guy that's making hundreds of thousands Work Market and Field Nation, you know what I'm saying, for tech, you know, putting up cameras and stuff like that. Check that out. That's a little gem I could just drop you. But you know, you just gotta do it strategically. You don't just want to be out here, you know, and just willy-nilly. You know, I want to keep on like saying the same thing over and over again. But if somebody thought about doing this, man, send this video to them, man. Let them know, like, you know what I'm saying, you gotta do this strategically. You know what I'm saying? My wife was like, you know, you need to go back to school for business. You know what I'm saying? I ain't want to hear all that, but but you know, she was right, you know what I'm saying? But it's been times where I've made money from my side hustle, and I just had like a lot of I had a lot of credit cards and all this stuff. I was paying them joints off, but you know, that's a whole nother story. But you know what I'm saying, I think about all that money that I made from my hustle. I'm like, dang, if I would have just managed that right, I would have had a crazy nest egg right now, man. And that's just what it is. Shoulda, coulda, woulda, man. That's just what it is. You live and you learn. But I'm here to tell you, man, make your next move your best move. Don't quit your job if it's just halfway decent. And if you're going to quit your job, you know, sow all those seeds while you at your 9 to 5 so you can make a transition from your job. And just watch out for the shady people and these prosperity preachers and all these people that's promising these vague jobs and various different things, and you'll be okay. So I appreciate it. It's your boy Ben. I appreciate y'all listening in, and I'll catch y'all on the next one, man. I appreciate it. Peace.